Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel Tuesday morning Chelsea news. We've got another Here We Go. George, we're going to call him the Serbian George. We're not going to try and mess around with pronunciations here. Petrović from New England Revolution, new goalkeeper on the cards at Chelsea Football Club. We're also going to discuss Conor Gallagher, the new number 10 as a priority as per Fabrizio Romano for Chelsea, and also the updates regarding any interest in Balogun and also Vlahovic. But before we do get into any of that, make sure you've checked the link in the description to go and subscribe to the channel Shootout. It is the new channel with Eunice and I that we're going to be posting about 4 or 5 times a week for the first couple of weeks, and then when regular series start, there's going to almost be daily content on that channel for you guys. So check it out, link below. Subscribe to this one also if you do like Chelsea news and all things Chelsea. Didn't win at the weekend, but hopefully we get one on Friday night. So stay tuned for that. Hit the like button if you enjoy the video. We begin with the Here We Go from Fabrizio Romano. Exclusive. Petrović to Chelsea. Here we go. Verbal agreement in place with New England Revolution on €16 million deal. Medical test booked on Wednesday for the Serbian goalkeeper, who's going to compete with Robert Sanchéz. Understand Petrović will sign on Wednesday as a new Chelsea player. It will be a 7-year contract until 2030 with an option for 1 more year to 2031. $17.5 million fixed fee plus $2.2 million add-ons to New England Revolution. Exclusive story, and here we go, confirmed. And you can see here, little graphic. One thing I've understood from my research personally with Petrović is this guy, as an all-rounded goalkeeper, is probably an upgrade on Kepa immediately. He can save long shots. Hallelujah. That's all I've ever really wanted to hear in recent times from a Chelsea keeper. Really good with close range as well. And he's a fearless goalkeeper. I've been reading a lot about what people have said of him. Obviously, I don't have the time in my life to spend watching 23-year-old Serbian keepers who play for New England Revolution. Following Chelsea is taxing enough on the brain and the heart alone. So for that reason, I've had to do a little dive. None of us have really watched him play that much, unless, let me know in the comments below if you're a big fan of the MLS, or maybe you're from the US, and you know a bit more than I do about this keeper, please tell me. But from what I understand, he's a fearless goalkeeper. More than confident when it comes to knowing the times to come off of his line, to be able to go down to the feet of a player, to win the ball. He's very balanced when it comes to when he makes those decisions to commit and when he doesn't. And when you look here, it's interesting with a goalkeeper because context is key. When you come to Chelsea, we don't really concede that many chances. So far this season, the conversion rate of other clubs, or with that being said, you could even argue the save rate of Sanchez hasn't been good. A lot of the shots on target we've conceded have gone in the back of the bloody net. These are the stats for Petrović that we've got here. Last season, 22 games played, 1.2 goals conceded per game, almost 100 saves, and a 79% save per game ratio in the MLS last season. I think this is good. We've always known Chelsea can't go into the season with Lucas Bergstrom and Marcus Bettinelli as the backup goalkeepers. Sanchez comes in. I've already made my feelings clear from the early phases of Sanchez's Chelsea career. I'm not fully convinced. Doesn't mean I don't back him and don't want him to succeed. Of course, it's always a narrative that's taken out of context. If I'm criticising a player, it's probably for the game that we've just seen and all of the Chelsea data we have to back it up with what he's done before. So far, Sanchez needs to step up. Simple as that. Petrović is coming in to be a number 2, but to put competition and pressure on that number 1 shirt. Sanchez might have the number 1, but we know with Chelsea, you look at Arsenal as well. They've bought in Raya. They've now got 2 very good keepers, Ramsdale, Raya, fighting for 1 shirt. And Chelsea want to have the same problem. It's not a problem if you've got multiple players looking to deliver and good enough for a said position. So, Petrović to Chelsea, it's a here we go. It's the first story of the day. If you like this deal, hit the like button on today's video. And we move into the news regarding Conor Gallagher. Now, this is from the Court Offside podcast, tweeted here by Simon Phillips. Tottenham are discussing the possibility of making a £40 million offer for Conor Gallagher. Chelsea unlikely to do business, though, because Mauricio Pochettino would prefer to keep him. Everton and Brighton also interested. Everton were interested in January. With Brighton, this one would make a lot of sense. De Zerbi does want hard workers in his team. Selling to Spurs. I'm not too sure about this. 40 million for Gallagher. The price that we quoted for other clubs to buy Gallagher for earlier in the summer, when we didn't see as many good performances from Gallagher. We weren't sure what Pochettino's plans were for any of the players, really. So when we quoted 50 million at the start of the summer, and now Pochettino sees that Gallagher is a versatile player that he can call upon in the squad, who wants to be at Chelsea, who knows what being at this club is all about, something that maybe will need to be worked on a little bit with new signings coming in from what we've realised in the past. 40 million, that's 10 million lower than the early summer price. But as things go on, I don't really think Tottenham are desperate to sign Gallagher at this point. So it's just interest. And I think Chelsea need to be wary of what Gallagher is good at, the way that Postecoglou plays. I think Gallagher would thrive in a Tottenham team, if I'm honest. I think he'd be competing with a few midfielders in the middle there. Sarr's made a good start. Obviously, Maddison has been brought in as more of an advanced player in the Spurs team. But for me, if Everton come in for him, I'd rather sell him to Everton. I'm less concerned about Everton this season because I'm pretty sure from what we've seen in the first couple of games, they're going to go down. Maybe Gallagher makes a difference, but it's not, I hope, to be competing with positions with Chelsea. We're 15th in the Premier League now, but I don't think it's going to be like that for long. So, Conor Gallagher to Spurs. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. Overall, top line opinion from me, I'm pretty happy with Gallagher. I'd like him to stay at Chelsea. I think as much as we do have a lot of depth now in that midfield, realistically, we've got to look at the decisions from Pochettino at the weekend to understand the hierarchy of midfielders at Chelsea right now. Andre Santos, a lot of people would have said that Santos should have started in the pivot with Enzo against Liverpool on the first game of the season. Gallagher impresses, keeps his place for the game away at West Ham, isn't as good, so we're all kind of back to square one, but Santos doesn't even make the squad. Cassaday's been loaned to Leicester, but if Gallagher's starting, and Lavia wasn't even in the squad either for the game against West Ham, and of course he will be for the match against Luton on Friday. So Santos has also got to overtake Lavia, who's going to enter the squad. Gallagher's already a starter right now for Chelsea, so I think this means Santos needs to be loaned. If that's the way that Pochettino's going to see it, then I think maybe if Gallagher stays, that means Santos must be loaned, based on the fact that if you can't get into the matchday squad when Lavia's not even there, with Gallagher still here, what's the point? What is the point? That's the way I feel about this one right now. We move into Fabrizio Romano confirming what I think Sunday taught all of us about Chelsea. I made it a massive thing in yesterday's video, and a lot of people think I'm just hot taking again, but I still back this up today on a Tuesday. Chelsea don't sign more attacking players who can deliver output for the club. We won't be in the Champions League come the end of this season. As good as it is that we spent so much money on midfielders, a defence, 2 new keepers, we need to put the ball in the back of the bloody net, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea priority is to sign a player who can play number 10 and also on the wing. I really feel as though there is a concern early on this season from Chelsea about Mudryk. And if there isn't, then there should be. I'm concerned about this kid. I'm worried that it's going to take him far too long to settle into this Chelsea team. Yes, when you're playing for a club like Chelsea, output and final delivery is so important. You've got to finish your chances, you've got to score, you've got to assist. You can't just be rapid with the potential. It doesn't last long. So I think Chelsea, looking at a player who can play 10, play on the wing as well, this is great. I think it's what we're seeing with the naked eye test right now at Chelsea, and even statistically. 2 goals in 2 games, but we're dominating the possession. What does that scream as the problem for you? Goals. So this is good news. The question is, who is that going to be? And at the moment, we're going to talk a little bit now about, we're going to tie these 2 things in together. Chelsea sources still indicate they are not actively pursuing Juventus, Dusan Vlahovic, but they have discussed Arsenal's following Balogun. Balogun's going to cost a lot of money, all right? Dusan Vlahovic, there's been those talks all summer, but I do think with Pochettino, he's got an idea he's working on things. We're looking at a different style of Chelsea, even though the output was very much the same come the end of the West Ham game. Overall, I'm not disappointed with Pochettino's start here. I'm not. From pre-season into the opening 2 games, we're dominating possession. We are creating chances. We're just not putting them away. So I think for Chelsea, maybe the Vlahovic deal is starting to make a bit more sense to me. With Juventus already having that agreement in place now for some weeks for Lukaku, I think the Vlahovic deal is really dependent on Pochettino. So if Pochettino hasn't already said, yeah, go on then, let's pursue this deal, then I don't think he wants him. I think realistically, we've got to believe that Pochettino isn't interested in Vlahovic. When we look at Chelsea wanting a player who can play in the 10 and also on the wing, this screams to me Ryan Cherki, personally. I think he loves to drift over the pitch into those wide areas to be able to put decent crosses in the box. Got a brilliant assist for Lyon doing exactly that at the weekend in their Ligue 1 game. So I think this is going to be an interesting one to follow for Chelsea. Mohamed Kudus to West Ham. West Ham are reluctant to spend the £3 million that is currently the bridge between Ajax's price and what West Ham's recent offer is. So, is it too late for Chelsea to re-enter? It's gone quiet in terms of communication between Kudus and Chelsea, but I do think this is a really, really big signing, and I think it's important that we get this one right. It needs to be a player who is absolutely ready to step into the team now and deliver. Yes, we keep on looking at ridiculously young players. Pochettino has been crying out for experience all summer. The thing is, I don't really know how many good quality experienced players who are a bit older are on the market right now in this position that would fit into Pochettino's system. If you've got recommendations, let me know in the comments below, because I do want to do another video later delving into the potential of who it could be in this number 10 role for Chelsea. I think Chelsea as a club, we're happy with Jackson, happy with Armando Broja coming back soon from injury too. So I think going for a 10 with Carnes out for a while, it's not looking good. Nkunku out to the new year. I think this is an important move, and I think from what we hear, the club are looking at it the right way. Thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button on it, subscribe to GBFC if you are new around here, and check out Shootout. Link in the description down below. Come on, you Blues.